Good evening and welcome to this edition of The List on EWW TV. I'm Ryan Hoke alongside Keys Calvert. For the next few minutes, we'll present our top 5 sports stories of the week and discuss why they made the top 5. Did your top 5 make our list? Let's find out. At number 5, the Chicago Bears parted ways with their first-round quarterback, Justin Fields, over the weekend. They traded Fields for a 6th-round pick in the 2025 draft from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Reports are Russell Wilson is lined up to be QB1. What are your thoughts on this deal, Keys? Do you think that the Steelers gained from this? Do you think that the Bears gained from this at all or anything overall? What do you think about it?
Well, first and foremost, a 6th-round pick for Justin Fields needs to be studied. He's an inspiring quarterback, and I feel like the disrespect has to end, and I feel like he's appreciated with the Steelers. Mike Tomlin will mold him in the way he should go and for him to be successful. I do feel like although that Russell Wilson is starting, they will eventually switch positions, and Russell Wilson will be in Justin Fields' ear telling him the key plays, what to look at, how cornerbacks are guarding the receivers and things of that nature. So I definitely feel like the Steelers gained more than the Bears lost. They lost a great quarterback, and we'll see what this upcoming season has to say about it.
I think also, too, with that, I like how you brought up the fact that Russell Wilson might be in that position that Fields will be in. I mean, he is a veteran quarterback. He's been in this position before. I think now what we know is that the Bears look like they will be getting possibly Caleb Williams. I mean, it seems to be the most projected pick for them right now. They need the quarterback. Do you think starting over is a good idea?
I don't necessarily say starting over due to the fact that they picked up Keenan Allen and they surround themselves with Caleb Williams to be successful. So they take a shot in the dark for Caleb, and hopefully that their season will be successful.
Yeah, so all will tell in the cards, I guess. So let's see what happens there. But at number 4, the NCAA women's bracket was released Sunday evening with Iowa receiving a number 1 seed in their side of the Albany bracket. Caitlin Clark looks to make a run to the Final Four, but Angel Reese and LSU are in their bracket with a possible rematch looming. Keys, what do we expect a LSU and Iowa to meet in the Elite Eight to go to the Final Four possibly? What do you think about that?
Yes, and yes. I'm actually very excited for this matchup. Last year, championship matchup, it was a beautiful game to watch. Clark showed up, Angel Reese showed up, LSU showed up, ultimately winning the game. But LSU, I feel, has the edge. They're a much bigger team, very dominant on the boards. Angel Reese, double machine. Caitlin Clark always brings her game, averaging 32 points a game. So definitely not worried about her. But I feel like the success, the key takeaway to this game is stopping everyone not named Caitlin Clark on Iowa's team. I feel like you eliminate her and LSU would be more successful. Iowa doesn't put much numbers when she is ineffective. So, yeah.
I think that really is the way how they beat Iowa in that situation, is by locking up Clark. But although I do believe that this year it will be a little bit more of a challenge for LSU to get back to where they want to be at right now. They've had a lot of emotion in the games we've been playing lately, especially with those losses to South Carolina. They have not really took that very lightly at all. So I think right now it comes down to the fact of, I think Iowa is really going to be in a cruising situation. Unless you lock up Clark, I think that's just what's going to happen, is that Iowa is going to cruise on you. But this is the team that beat them last year. I think this is a perfect matchup if they do meet up in that situation. So it'll be great. But let's move on to our number 3 story. At number 3, NCAA tournament is here. Houston is the number 1 overall seed after getting wiped by Iowa State in the Big 12 title game Saturday. There were some crazy finishes to get in, like New Mexico taking down San Diego State in the Mountain West Championship, who was in the Final Four a year ago, along with Yale winning at the buzzer to win the Ivy League, to get in, to name a few. Who do you like winning it all, and what upsets come to mind to you, Keys? What do you think about that?
Well, I feel like it's Houston's to lose. I'm strong believer on defense win championships. They're a great defensive team. The Iowa upset may have an effect on them, but I feel like they'll be fine throughout the tournament. So it definitely is Iowa's to lose, in my opinion.
Yeah, I definitely think that right now. I think it's really all these 1 seeds right now. I feel like this is going to be a pretty upset-heavy tournament as well. I see teams like GCU beating St. Mary's, honestly, as well. They are a very good team. They beat the number 5 San Diego State before as well. And I think that they got a lot to show, of course, too. New Mexico over Clemson I have as well, just to name a couple upsets there. I personally believe And this might just be because of the fact that they're just the number 1 seeds. But I really do believe that we could be seeing a UConn. I think UConn might be in the championship. I see them going against maybe Purdue, honestly, as well. Zach Edey's been looking great as well, even though they just lost to Wisconsin. I do think that they will catch fire again, too. But that's really currently all I think about that, honestly. Do you think that out of this at all, too, that, players who have the big scorers like Zach Edey and Purdue, do you think that they're going to be able to get through all these other teams that are just such good team players?
Well, the tournament is full of surprises, so we never know what might happen, but Purdue is a very sharp team, and I believe they'll get the job done.
All right. We've got more coming up on the list, including a discussion on UW Whitewater's men's baseball is next. We'll be right back.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby.
Inside the 30. Touchdown. Michaela burns it.
An incredible finish by Hall. The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org.
For Hawk Talk, especially on days I'm hosting, you really need to be up early looking at those news stories. Even the night before, I'm finding topics that I can incorporate in the show, and I feel like we get a conversation going.
Once you get the opportunity to do that with other people who appreciate it the same level as you do, it makes it that much more enjoyable.
For everything sports, tune in Monday through Thursday at 91.7 The Edge or watch us on UWW-TV.
Here at UW Whitewater Intramural Sports, we have a motto: a sport for everyone and everyone in a sport.
Come on. That's it anyways. Oh, she got that off. They're going to count it.
Had a blast. Always have fun at intramurals.
Every day we strive to go above and beyond that goal by providing healthy exercise, promoting leisure education, and giving students that competitive atmosphere they are looking for.
Yes. Yes.
It's exciting. Brings me back to those high school days with Friday Night Lights.
With our 25 different intramural sports offered, we guarantee that we have a sport for you. Go to our website and find your sport today.
Welcome back to The List on UWW-TV. Let's continue the countdown of this week's top sports stories. At number 2, the Wisconsin Badgers are dancing. After falling to Illinois in the Big Ten Championship Sunday, the Badgers get a comfortable seat at number 5, meaning they were in bubble, as analysts thought. They match up with one of the best teams in the tournament, number 12 seed James Madison. This isn't an average number 12 seed, as analysts feel. They should have been higher ranked. Keys, was Wisconsin dealt a harder bargain to begin with the tournament? What do you think about this James Madison team?
So 2 weeks ago, I was talking about the Badgers, and we were talking about their struggles. How have they turned the season around? They have been balling. They do have a tough matchup in James Madison, averaging 84 points a game. The boys can put numbers on the board, but I feel like the level of competition matters, and I feel that Madison has been battle tested with the big win over Purdue and the dogfight against Illinois. So I believe that there will be no upset alert in the first round.
I feel that Wisconsin lately has really turned up the defense a lot when it comes down to it, and that's really been helping us out, especially during the Big Ten tournament, and especially the win against Purdue as well. I think even against that the Illinois game was also one of those situations where we even had some really good defense there. We have not let up 100 points in a while. And I think this team is looking really good, although I do feel like this James Madison team is definitely a harder matchup to go up against for first round of the tournament. I think that the Badgers got this one, but I would not put it past this JM team to be able to probably upset them at the end of the day as well. So let's just hope it's all in the cards for us. But let's move on to our number 1 story. At our number 1 spot of the week, UW Whitewater men's baseball went to the Florida Spring Trip, ranked number 25 in D3. They swept the number 11 team in Birmingham Southern College and finished their trip 7-1 down there. Starting their season 9-3 and moved up to number 16 in the latest polls. What's the expectation this year for Hawk ball with a hot start? What do you think?
I feel like I expect nothing but greatness from this team. They went to that trip hitting very, very well. Congrats to Matt Skolin on the Player of the Week for WEAC. He averaged 1.25 hits per game, so his consistency throughout the trip should be studied. Eli Frank, 5 for 5. That's absurd. 5 for 5 from at bat, 6 RBIs. That's just unheard of.
Yeah.
And all the team has been hitting exceptionally well. This hot start should last throughout the season, going into the playoffs, and I expect greatness from them.
I'm very excited this year, actually, for baseball. I feel like we've got such a good team to look forward to. I mean, like we've said before, too, I mean, they started out at 9-3, they are 9-3 right now currently. They have yet to play a WEAC game, though, so that is going to be very interesting as well to see. I do believe that this team, though, is going to own the WEAC tournament and just the WEAC conference in general this year as well. In 6 games, they have scored at least 10-plus runs, including one of those games. They scored 21 runs in it as well. So I think this team is absolutely on fire to start it out, and I think we've got a ton to look forward to when it comes to this baseball team as well. I mean, it is going to be just the bats are really hot right now as we're looking and seeing, so let's just keep it going, honestly. And that will do for this edition of The List. We'll be back next week to talk up the latest sports headlines. For Keith Calvert and the members of UWW TV, I'm Ryan Hoke. See you then.